This is about vampires. This is like a review so far of like being way too many hours into Vampire the Masquerade. Bloodlines 2. It's not really a review. I just don't know what to make with these stupid videos. Um, I played a little bit of Bloodlines 1. It was awful. I mean, not Bloodlines 1. Um, Before this, Swan Song was a massive disappointment. The artistic direction of Swan Song was um, pretty impressive, but the overall development felt pretty rushed. I do not know about said development, but I did read from the Wikipedia for this game that it was made by Hard Suit Labs, who I can't really find any concrete games they've made. But it was passed on to the Chinese room who made uh, Dear Esther, uh, Everybody's Gone to Rapture, and Amnesia Machine of Pigs. But all of those people who made those games were fired, and then the new team made or picked up from uh, what seemed like a substantial work by Hartsu Labs in 2020 onward. So yeah, weird development that probably explains a lot of the homeless people NPCs. We live in a dystopia. But it's all published by Paradox Interactive. I don't really, again, I just read the freaking Wikipedia. I don't know what I'm talking about, but just yapping because making videos is cheap and video editing is hard and I need practice. But anyway, it's been really fun. It's been like a mixture of Dishonored with the substantial, narrative and dialogue appeal of the original cult classic that was very linear in narrative structure, as is this, but um, did allow some, wiggle room and just like a bit of a gameplay divergence within the character type you chose. I always tended to go with the Malkavian just because the dialogue um, and stealth interest me the most. And that is like taken to the next gen level, I guess, in this game, where it's a lot like Cyberpunk 2077 in the uh, hyper fast agility combat that is majorly agile and like melee. What you do have um elements of um ranged combat, and that's pretty fun because you have telekinetics, but it's either hit or miss. When it does hit, it's pretty effective. um when it does miss, you're sort of left out in the open. But as I keep saying, it's agile. It's like Dishonored of your first person hand to hand combat type. I'm so sorry. It's fun if you like smacking people up. It feels a lot like what I thought Batman Arkham Knight would have felt like. Though I did sort of end up liking that game in the end. It just never lived up to Arkham Asylum and City and the appeal of the just like main sort of Batman or Catwoman experience. I feel like Batman Arkham Knight relied too much on the Batmobile mechanics, but that's an entirely different game. I bring that up though because visually, and aesthetically, like thematically, this game is like 1-to-1 with Batman Arkham Knight, where we are set in a noir, uh, white Christmas sort of, yeah, uh, urban environment. It's not as glitzy as Arkham Knight, as we're in Seattle. Um, but there, of course, is touches of that sort of upper class, very Art Deco type of design that feels very sleek and corporate. And we're vampires, so just like Batman, it's gonna be constantly at night. And so, just like Batman, we have a visual focus on neon lighting and very yeah um, darkened scenes with peaks of neon green, purple, red, uh, orange, and whatnot. Just listening the entire. Anyway, the entire visual aesthetic, including the user interface, is a big favorite of mine at the moment. Just exploring the costumes and the overall environment design, which is rather immaculate. Like everything. Oh, time wise, we are set in. I'm not gonna be including spoilers. Okay, future me, you're gonna have to edit that in the beginning. This is a spoiler-free, like, pseudo review. I don't know. I'm just yapping about what I've experienced so far. I love this game, but there's gonna be no narrative spoilers, visually on screen or vocally from me. Anyway, this game is set in the time in the modern timeline, 2024. Um, and so they have sort of a lot of leeway in like what they can introduce to the city of Seattle, where a lot of the time we have the brick and mortar residential um, high rise estates and buildings that make up the bulk of the city. But interspersed with that, we have these elaborate, high end hotels that are thematic and, of course, throwbacks to the original game. But not this is not a remaster in the way that like Resident Evil 2 was. This is a completely different story, and yeah, thematic experience, and just it's amazing. Like the environment design in particular um is what I'm really interested in, and yeah, it's immaculate, for lack of a better word. um Everything feels very lived in and nuanced, where we're not given too much detail, but at the same time, you know, it doesn't feel like we're, just being plopped into like a map you would find on the Fab store for Unreal Engine. um, the overall design and thought that went into this environment that you will get heavily um, involved in, with both narrative experiences of the game, the latter of which I won't get into, but the primary being your vampire, Fire, the Nomad, where you have the ability to, of course, scour the rooftops or devote more time at the bottom of the map where the most sort of focus in the environment design seem to be put. And it's not for naught. It looks amazing, and it's really fun to just wander around and look at everything. And of course, this always comes to play mechanically and gameplay wise, because there are blood resonance effects. You're a vampire, and you can't just suck, or well, you can suck any blood to recover your health and your abilities, but you can only upgrade said abilities by seeking out resonance of particular blood types that are sanguine, choleric, and melancholic. And yeah, it's really fun because in the beginning you don't have very much. Just like Cyberpunk 2077, you don't have very much in the terms of like just raw combat practice. It's a lot of like walking from um, point A to point B, and casually or occasionally, sorry, finding ghouls, which are the sort of grunts that you can eat for experience. But also, just like Cyberpunk, um, get like a hand of the combat before you actually, get to a boss fight. That's my only complaint, really. Beyond some expectable bugs, but like, compared to Swan Song, there is like zero bugs and like just like overall hindrances to gameplay that I've encountered. Though they are there, it's mostly just revolving around the crazy agile combat and traversal a movement, yeah. Like it's a lot like Warframe, where like the more involved you become with the double jump, with the dash, and with the glide, the better you become, especially when you get more used to your navigation around this city. um, and the segments of the walls that you can sort of magnetize to, like it's Batman. Um, it's great. It's really fun, like zipping around, especially when you get into that like flow state where you build up your character builds up enough momentum of zipping zopping around, and you like just go like super fast. You're covering like 10 meters per like second if you're uh capable enough. um and yeah, like you can go completely unseen if you know the area well enough, uh and use your oh, I should mention I'm playing as blood sorcerer. That's I'm like 15 hours in. Oh god. It's so fun. Uh and yeah, like Fabian, I guess he's in the tutorial, so I can talk about him. But he's a part of the narrative. Um, I'm not gonna talk too much about him because there is a lot of spoilers, and I would like to talk because I got to a juicy part in the story, but I won't. Um, Fabian mentioned when I chose blood sorcery that it's uh, like a hard class to pick, but there was no way to unpick it. So, um, and I didn't really know what I was just gonna choose Malkavian, but there was no Malkavian, and that becomes obvious as you play the game. But why? But Yeah, I went with Blood Sorcerer, and there are some abilities like being able to uh, return to a location. It's called Recall, where you can like literally teleport across the map. Um, I've like teleported like 50 like meters like back to like Recall. And the game has to like load a little bit, but it works, and it's a lot like Batman, yeah. Being able to like grapple out, and of course, like later on, you have abilities like Blink, which is directly like Dishonored, where you can just teleport to a location uh, in your reach. And so there's a lot of like what I'm trying to say, like variety in the way you approach the game. I don't know how a Bruja is able to play. That's a class I would like to revisit potentially on a replay, but because I have not like seen any like media or anything. I don't really like follow games news. I follow the real news. I don't follow games news, but um, so I don't really know any other playstyles for this game. But yeah, Bruja would be something I'd like to uh replay as. Um, But yeah, it's a lot like Cyberpunk in the way that the linear narrative is going to have to be an experience you just replay through rather than a more Fallout open ended. Not really like open ended, of course, with Fallout 4 and whatnot, but a more freeform approach to how you would go about like leveling a character and whatnot. This game doesn't really offer that. It is very tied to the narrative, which I have no problem with. It's very tight and to the point and interesting. It's a nice. Um, it's very. Blech. The writing is really good. I have no words for the writing. I only have words for like visual stuff. But it does feel a lot like the first game, and the greater World of Darkness, um, in terms of that like raw noir um, aesthetic that like touches upon black humor, but it's not like um, as overt as like I would say Cyberpunk and of course Grand Theft Auto. Because we're in Seattle, I think a lot of Infamous 2, um, which I played a lot of in the first game. Um, and yeah, it's also ironic too, because wasn't that game also set within Christmas? We had a lot of daylight, so like visually it doesn't really like coincide with this game as a Batman Arkham Knight would. Um, but yeah, Seattle, it's a cool location. So as I mentioned with the sort of dark humor, um, the game itself, visually and narratively, um, feels pretty immersive in the way that like when in the way that this game feels pretty immersive. Um, oh my gosh, in the way that this game feels pretty immersive, where when oh my god, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna have to recut all of this. So sort of like with what I mentioned. Oh my god, my nose. So sort of like with what I mentioned with the dark humor, this game visually feels very sort of immersive in the way that um, the sights, the sounds, the like sort of overall tone that you experience per element of the gameplay. or the narrative is drastically different yet